Is your Pokemon Go app crashing all the time? Is it slow and laggy and has a lot of frame drops? Well, today I want to go through 6 different things you can do to increase the speed of Pokemon Go. Niantic has done an amazing job of adding a lot of quality of life features to speed up the game, so today I want to just cover them all in one video, do all of these things. Hopefully they'll fix your game, make it more enjoyable. They have made my experience a lot more enjoyable. Let's get right into it. First thing I want to say before we get into this is this stuff, number one, may lead to more battery being used, well, almost guaranteed. Of course, to have higher performance, you usually have to take more power, and doing some of these things might increase the amount of battery you use. So make sure you buy yourself a good power bank and have that one running if you're going outside. I have a good one linked below that I go ahead and use. You can check that out. Number 2 may lead to more crashing. Adding all the software things to make it run smoother will just lead to your phone being like, nah, bro, and then just crash. So if your phone is crashing from all this stuff, we will go through something to do at the end of the video to hopefully fix that problem. But be wary, your phone may crash more if your phone just can't handle. Okay, number 1 thing to do is going to be to use native refresh rate. This is an amazing update added a couple months ago. You can come to your settings in Pokemon Go, scroll all the way to your bottom, go into advanced settings and turn on native refresh rate. What this will do is it will use your device's frame per second. Before, Pokemon Go was locked to 30 frames per second, which was kind of laggy, wasn't really a smooth gameplay experience, and it just wasn't fun to play. Now with native refresh, it's going to use your phone's refresh rate, which means if you play at 60 frames per second, it means this game is going to be showing me 60 frames every single second. Some phones even do 120 frames per second like mine, and that means they're going to be able to load super quick and everything is just going to be super smooth. Like for example, in this Mana encounter when I grab the Pokeball, it's going to be just super smooth, buttery smooth, super nice. Make sure you do that. Note, if you do have a frame that does 144 frames per second like mine does, Pokemon Go actually, even with native refresh rate, is actually capped at 120. So just for people with 144, you actually can't even run 144 frames per second on Pokemon Go. So native refresh is kind of a lie if you think about it. But still, native refresh rate is definitely something you want to add, because if not, you're going to be playing at 30 frames per second and it's just going to be a clunky, not very fun experience. Note, however, this does use more battery. I've actually tested it in a video, so do be wary of that. Number 2 is going to be to update to the newest version of Pokemon Go. Now, I don't know when you guys are watching this, but maybe a couple weeks ago, a week ago, I don't know when you're watching this, Pokemon Go added a new update. Specifically, the version name is 0.255.1. And what this did is it doubled the speed of all animations in Pokemon Go. If you have not updated your app since that update, make sure you update, because now when you click on Pokemon, everything is so much quicker. Even going into your Pokemon storage, into your bag, opening gifts is just such a more enjoyable experience because everything just goes so much faster. Look how fast I can scroll through all my gifts. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, it's a little laggy, but look how fast I can scroll through all my gifts. Like, it just flies super quick and it's pretty much just being held back by my finger, but like I can just go through my whole friends list in like 3 seconds. It's insane. Now, this update does come with some issues in which PvP is crashing, but I'm hoping by the time you're watching this video that has been fixed. But if you want Pokemon Go to run smoother, definitely update to the newest version. Next up, we're going to have another new feature. Like I said, Pokemon Go is adding a lot of nice quality of life features, and that is going to be to download all assets. You can come again back into advanced settings, and in here there's going to be a download all assets, and it's going to say reduce data drain and load times by downloading all game assets directly to your device. Now, normally Pokemon Go will take all of your assets, like things like Pokemon images, raid images, raid eggs, whatever images or visuals you're really seeing on the phone, and it's going to pull them from the server off your internet. What this does is it downloads all that onto your phone so that it doesn't have to jump over to the server, pull them out to load them, and instead it can just hop into your phone, which is a lot quicker. If you haven't done this, make sure you do it. Now, the one thing it does do is it does take some storage, and you can only download them on Wi-Fi. I believe mine was about 161 megabytes, but it really depends. I think they do update it as well, so you might have to do it a couple times if they update the app and they have more assets. You might have to re-download the assets. So it is something you should probably do at least, once a week, but it is an amazing update in Pokemon Go. Make sure you do it. It's going to speed up your gameplay. Load times are going to be quicker, and most likely you'll notice it when your data is low because, it's not really going to have to require a lot of data to pull the game assets. Make sure you do that thing. It's going to speed up your game. Now let's go into some more things that you can do in real life now that we're done with the software side of it. Number 1 thing is going to be get a phone cooler. This has changed my gameplay experience for Pokemon Go, especially on those hot summer days. The one problem with the phone and all this software stuff is that you can only go as fast as your phone can handle. The problem why phones can't handle stuff so much is because number 1, you're playing outside, your phone's going to get hot, and your phone just can't stay cool. When a processor gets too hot, it just blows up, it overfries, and it just can't handle a lot of things. So getting a phone cooler is going to be the number 1 recommendation I suggest. If you have an iPhone with MagSafe, I know Razer has a great one that you can clip onto the back of your phone. It's amazing. There's also a lot of different brands that clamp them. Just search them on Amazon. They're amazing. Now, the one downside with a lot of those phone coolers though is they do require their own power source, which means you're going to have a battery pack with you to charge them. However, luckily when I bought my phone, it actually came with its own phone cooler. It's a gaming phone, so it comes with a phone cooler. It's right here, and this one actually just pulls power. It clips right onto the back, and then it just pulls power from the phone. So although my phone will die quicker, I don't need an extra cable or anything like that, and I can just cool my phone like this. In general, getting a phone cooler is an amazing thing, amazing investment you guys should make, as on those hot days, it'll just cool down your phone and make that gameplay so much more smooth. Anytime it's been a hot day, I bust out the phone cooler and I'm no longer getting frame drops. Next up, let's hop right back into the software with number 5, and that's gonna be to close your tabs and clear your storage. This one is specifically for my mom because I always go on my mom's phone and she's like,
why is Pokemon Go running so slow?
And I see 100 tabs open. She has every single app on her phone open all at once running. And although yes, it is in the background, so it's not taking as much battery, if you guys wanna have the cleanest experience with Pokemon Go, you gotta keep your phone clean. Close all apps when they're not being used. Only have Pokemon Go open, maybe Discord if you're coordinating some raids. Make sure your storage isn't maxed. I know a lot of people who run phones and they have like, 1 gigabyte of storage left for, photos or whatever. Generally, electronic devices do better when they have a lot of extra storage they can play with, like my computer, for example, when I'm editing. So make sure you transfer your photos off onto your computer or something like that, because that will save you a lot of just headache and will slightly increase your phone's performance because it doesn't have to deal with all those files in the background, etc., etc. Fortunately, Pokemon Go, if you really want to get the best performance out of it, you kind of have to treat it like your golden baby and it's like the only app on your phone or one of the only apps on your phone, and really just when it's going, it's the only thing running. And then the final thing I'm going to say here, if none of this works, if your phone is still lagging, still having issues, and your experience is just not good, might be time for a phone upgrade. Unfortunately, Pokemon Go is very reliant on your phone, your processor of your phone, and how good your phone is. And if it's just crashing, I've heard a lot of people who say when they go into AR mode or when they do an AR scan task, their phone just crashes and just dies. Probably because your phone processor can't handle it. It's a very demanding game. It requires a lot of things. It's literally a GPS map of the world you're walking around in while it's pulling up spawns. Like, I can't really think of anything that'll take more battery than that. So it might be time to upgrade your phone. Personally, I can't really tell you guys what phone to go for. Obviously, any of the new iPhones are going to be great because usually they have good enough processors. I have an Asus ROG Phone 5. It's a gaming phone, but it's pretty expensive. You can buy it in the new top of the line Samsungs. But what I recommend you doing, if you have a phone that runs well on Pokemon Go, feel free to comment it below. So if people who are looking for new phones, might have garbage phones, can take a look at that and find out. Maybe in the future, I'll do more research and I can do like a top 10 phones for Pokemon Go list. But for now, I don't really want to talk about something I'm not too knowledgeable on. And I recommend you guys do your own research to find what phone might be good for Pokemon Go. So yeah, guys, that is it. Those are the top 6 ways to improve your speed on Pokemon Go. Huge shout out to Niantic for adding all these quality of life features that just make the game so much more enjoyable. Obviously, we're still missing a couple things to be sped up. Like we have the egg hatching animation sped up, but we'd be love to get a trading animation sped up and things like that. But the overall quality of life, the overall speed and user experience have just been improved massively. That's gonna be it for me though, guys. Comment below what phone you use in Pokemon Go and if it's any good, follow up for tips. Peace.